The system in America, I'm not sure how it is in the UK, but let me break it down how it works over here. What they do over here is they give you low income housing. They give it to your mother, right, who has the children. Now, what they do is they don't let the father use that home, or she loses the free home. Do you understand what I'm saying? If she gets a job, then she's gonna have to, her rent ups from $25 a month to 1,000 or whatever, depending on how much you get paid. So the mothers don't search for jobs because their rent goes up. They get free low income housing, right? So they get free housing and they get free food stamps. But they don't let the boyfriend or the baby father or the husband come to the home. This is called broken families, right? The broken blueprints. I have a song about this. This is how they break families. This is how fathers are not there for their children. Then these young cats are growing up, and you never know what the mother might get into, because the mother has to always get into a fight with a man, and she can never bring a man to her home, because if the system catches the man in the home, you lose your low income home. So it's a vicious cycle over here. And the system has created that. The system has created Vincents out there. And then the system brings in Richards to take care of these reckless Vincents, Vinnies out here. Do you understand what I'm saying? Welcome back on my Renegades. How are you? How you been? I hope life is great for you, because you know life is great around these parts, especially when Ren is up in the building. And today, Ren is up in the building with the Vincent tale, the bedroom. What? Listen, the Vincent tale was amazing. You already know the storytelling, the guitar, the parts, the moments, the music video. I don't even know if you call it a music video, the little short film, I guess, whatever you want to call it. But it was full of incredible moments, I mean, my man's had his guitar. He had a fight, he had a street fight, and he was actually involved in a street fight. He was actively fighting while he was playing his guitar. And he never let go of his guitar. Gotta respect that. Music is not going anywhere for Ren, all right? Random music, it's just natural. It's just what life is about, you know? So here we are. Let me not waste your time any further, and don't you waste no time without hitting that like button, subscribe button, telling everybody about my catalog. Let's get into it. Oh no. That's a nice jail cell. So nice with that. Whew. First of all, guys, whatever jail he's in, I mean, this is a nice jail, okay? I don't know how it is in the UK, but in America, first of all, you do not have that mattress. Second of all, you probably in bunk beds. You probably sharing it. But even if you're not in bunk beds, you will never get a mattress like that. Obviously the microphone and stuff would never be there, but yeah, this looks more like a studio apartment. Like, very, very small, obviously, but this is the best jail I've ever seen, yo. What I'm basically saying, guys, is I think he got the suite in this jail, because I've never seen it this sweet in a jail cell, ever, ever. So I'm not really sure how it is in the UK. You guys let me know in the comment section. But in America, it would never be that comfortable. I mean, he got a nice mattress. He got a nice pillow. I mean, he really living that life up in there. I mean, nobody wants to be in jail, but if it's that jail, it's not the worst. It could be way worse. Trust me when I tell you, it could be way worse. But you know, I never noticed before, but those tats on his hands, those are new, right? I've never noticed them before. Because I watch him closely when he plays his guitar all the time. And I don't remember ever seeing those tats. So those tats must be new. But I love the way it started, because at first I didn't know it was a jail. When the guard was walking, I thought he was on the top floor of a motel, and he was just walking to his room at first. Then I noticed he was an officer, some sort of officer, and then when you seen the doors, you notice that it's jail, right? That's the brilliance about Ren and his videos, is the anticipation. Every single detail has a meaning. Every single part, so you have to like really be in tune with this, and you have to watch it many, many times to capture every single thing. But there's so many gems hidden within the video, which is incredible. But let's run that guitar a little more back, okay, guys? I'm sorry I stopped this early. I wish I could play like that. Ooh, sunflowers.
Have you ever felt anger with nowhere to place it? Vincent felt cold, neglected and jaded, impotent, empathy castrated. Look for the new thing, always look for the new thing, but never look inside, never look within, without, above, below, same thing. Wait, it gets deeper than that. The insane thing is sane men living in insane terrain, contort insane brains that are kind of deranged, strange, without the factor of cause and effect. Factually, the man's a casualty of constant neglect. Let's start at the start. Vincent was born in the dark, home birth to a mother, painted scars on her arm. Track march from the dragon, China white in the palm. Shooting up the birth canal, Vinny fell out like yarn. Tumbled out, himself unraveling, and that was the theme. Exceptionally average grade, sprayed with low self-esteem. From the fire to the frying pan, painting it green. When it's the cash that rules everything around me. Cream, get the money, funny Vinny. He weren't ever good at hustling, shitty jobs that he was dead and stocking. Started a combustion, nothing. Pulled him out of debt, the debt collector's rushing to be stripping him of everything. Eventually, there's nothing. The cycle is a cycle for a psychopath on ice.
Wow. Okay. Like, the way he started, I was not expecting them bars. I was not expecting them bars. Wow. I love the fact that he started with anger, because anger, guys, I don't know if you noticed, but have you ever made a great decision while you were angry? Just ask yourself, honestly. Have you ever made a great decision while you were angry? Me personally, I've never made a great decision when I'm angry. And anger is basically drinking poison and hoping it will hurt the person you're angry at or the people you're angry at. And you know that's not the case. I love the way he said, you basically have to look within, or you should look within.
Always look for the new thing, but never look inside, never look within, without, above, below, same thing. Wait, it gets deeper than that.
But it's really hard to look within, because the exterior is constantly beating you down, especially when your parents or yourself are under the influence, like the China white that he was talking about. That's opioids. Now they got the fentanyl that's destroying people, and it's not the same thing, but it's the same poison. It's the same poison, and it's the same cycle. So when the parents are on drugs, usually the children get neglected. And when they get neglected, they don't learn the things that will help them in survival of life. So there's a lot of bumps on the road, obviously, when your parents ain't there and focused. When your parents are just out of it on China White, like you left to the streets, basically. In the streets, when they get a hold of you, that's the end of you, like, or at least that's the end of the empathy. That's the end of a lot of different things, because their street mentality is so rough. Trust me when I tell you, that street mentality is serious, because you are under constant pressure to prove yourself, how tough you are and who you are, and you don't want nobody to push you, because when somebody makes you look like a punk in the streets, oh, you can't accept that, or you won't be in the streets for too long. You feel me? So you constantly battling that ego, that pride, and it's get tested on a daily basis in the streets for sure. That's why that street life is weak, That's why parents should not be doing drugs. They should be taking care of their children so the street don't raise their children. They should be raising their children. But his lyrics are just so incredible. I love the way he said, look within, because it is important. You should look within. That's the main point, is you should look within, because the exterior will only fool you and give you illusions and confuse you. You won't find peace out there. You will only find peace within. When you are calm within, when you are okay within, when you are love within, what happens on the outside doesn't matter, because everything you go through is within. When somebody touches your hand, it's not their touch you're feeling. It's the feeling you get when they touch you. But the amazing part about Ren is the fact they said, look within, above, and under. I mean, he's just, oh my goodness. Let's just go back to it. He's so incredible. I love the breakdown. And I was not expecting hip-hop. I was not expecting it. The way he came in, I thought it was going to be more of a singing and, I don't know, just different, not hip hop, not this type of poetry, This is, I mean, he's one of a kind, man. They don't make him like this anywhere in the world.
Have you ever felt anger with nowhere to place it? Vincent felt cold, neglected and jaded, impotent, empathy castrated. Look for the new thing, always look for the new thing, but never look inside, never look within, without, above, below, same thing. Wait, it gets deeper than that. The insane thing is sane men living in insane terrain, contort insane brains that are kind of deranged, strange, without the factor of cause and effect. Factually, the man's a casualty of constant neglect. Let's start at the start. Vincent was born in the dark, home birth to a mother painted scars on her arm. Track march from the dragon, China White in the palm. Shooting up the birth canal, Vinny fell out like yarn. Tumbled out, himself unraveling, and that was the theme. Exceptionally average grade, sprayed with low self-esteem. From the fire to the frying pan, painting it green. When it's the cash that rules everything around me. Cream, get the money, funny Vinny. He weren't ever good at hustling, shitty jobs that he was dead and stocking. Started a combustion, nothing. Pulled him out of debt, the debt collector's rushing to be stripping him of everything. Eventually, there's nothing. The cycle is a cycle for a psychopath on ice. The day repeats, the days are weeks, the weeks are most your life. When the day's done, it's the same one. It's a repeat, it's a rerun. A deja vu religion, a foreboding of a prison. Whole Britain, Great Britain, how Britannia ruled the wave. We started out with intentions and we ended up like slaves. Drink to kill the tension, but the drinks cost your wage. What helps you is what kills you when you're living too deep.
Wow, 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 wow. 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 You always do start with intention. I mean, I know the intention is to control the public for certain. You know, that's why you got your phones. They following you everywhere you going. They know what you're doing, and they try to keep all the minds at one direction. Because if everybody thinks for themselves, you have no control. So keeping the public under control, first of all, you always stay in power and you're always making money off of them. Now, but see, the young child he's speaking of, he was brought up where his mom, he basically lost his mom to drugs. So she's just lost into drugs. She's out there just passing out on a daily basis, and he's left to deal with this world, growing up by himself basically. And then, like I said, the streets raise him, so he's hustling, he's working, but he can never get over that hump because he never had the parents that had. Let's say if your father is a doctor or your mother is a lawyer, you're probably gonna choose one of those lanes or something along those lines. At least you in the upper class where you have options. But when you're at the bottom and nobody has taught you nothing because your mom is too busy doing drugs, and you just left basically just seeing what you see. And when you see what you see, it's only the streets. And what you see in the streets is never as nice as it is in the suites, right? Where the rich folks live, way up top on the top floor. No, you're on the bottom, where they pee on the buildings down there, where it smells like horrible, where you can see the struggle. And when you're raised in that struggle, it's almost like it becomes a normal thing. That's why the street life becomes normal. When the streets grab you, I mean, everything is normal from then on. Like if you get into criminal activity, the criminal activity is just going to be like brushing your teeth in the morning. It's not going to be no different. Oh, I love what he said, the within or without, up and down. I mean, man, his lyrical, dollar bills, y'all. Cream get the money, dollar bill. He didn't say the dollar bill, but he brought that in too. And Wu-Tang, they super street. So if you need to know anything about the street life in America, yo, go listen to Wu-Tang for certain. Go listen to 50 Cent, and you'll know what it be like around these parts, But yeah, man, the lyrical, man. I can't get over this lyrical genius that he is. I just can't get over this. I mean, Ren is just a lyrical genius, an absolute lyrical genius. Man, I love the way he flows too. And he's such a musician. I mean, he's incredible on that guitar. If I could play the guitar like he plays it, I would never let go of that guitar. Everywhere you see me, I'm just playing that guitar. Like every day. I would make so many songs. Because freestyling and writing is easy for me. I just don't have the instrumentals. I don't know how to make instrumentals. So if I could play the guitar like he could play the guitar, oh my goodness, you would never see me without that guitar. It will be my third hand all day, every day. There's absolutely no question. And I love the fact that he loves it just as much as I would love it. You can tell he's a musician. I love music, so you can tell he is music. There's no question about it. But this is amazing. Let's continue, guys. We only 3 minutes in, and I'm over here talking y'all ears out. Let's get it, y'all. Let's get it.
Thing around me, cream, get the money, funny bin. He weren't ever good at hustling, shitty jobs that he was dead and stocking, started a combustion, nothing. Pulled him out of that, the debt collector's rushing to be stripping him of everything. Eventually, there's nothing. The cycle is a cycle for a psychopath on ice. The day repeats, the days are weeks, the weeks are most short life. When the days...
The cycle is for a psychopath on ice? Wow, that's fire. That's fire because on ice, when I think about ice, what's been happening over here with ice. It's another story, guys. Okay, I'm not gonna get into that. But when I think of ice, I think of hockey players, and you know how hockey players when they put their sticks down, it's rumbling time. You know what I mean? So it's almost like psychopathic, and I love that. That's a cycle. It's like a psychopath on ice because they get so aggressive. The hockey players, they get so aggressive in there and they try to knock each other's head off. And psychopathic on ice, that's fire. The cycle. Yes, the cycle. I told you guys earlier, the cycle does not stop. So Vincent was just brought up in a bad place, basically, in bad circumstances. So sometimes when you brought up in those circumstances, usually your future is already told what it is, and it's never a good thing. But you can change, though. You can change, even if you are there as a youngin. Like, you could change, and even if the street life have taken you, because sometimes you can't be soft. Like, when you're in the streets and you literally living in the streets, you can't be soft. Like, people will come and tell you, like, this is doing crime is bad, and like, you shouldn't be out there doing this and that. But, like, you're not there when I'm starving. You're not there when I go home and my mom is on the couch passed out and I don't know if she's still alive, if she's still got a pulse. I'm afraid for her life on a daily basis because she's out there doing crazy drugs. What you want me to do? If I go out in the streets and I start acting soft, like, my teachers tell me, or, the people trying to teach me right tell me, the streets will chew you up and spit you out in a heartbeat. So out there, you gotta be a lion. You gotta be hard. You gotta be tough. You gotta show no empathy. You gotta show that just don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Like, just in your face, because it's a survival instinct. It's a way of surviving the streets, and yeah, that's what it be like. Man, it's a tough life. When I was younger, I was dumb. The streets really did grab me. I know a lot about the streets, and when you talking about the U.S. streets. Boy, I tell you about these streets, man. I'm telling you. Real one, too. A real one, for certain. So I know a lot about this lifestyle. And I've had a lot of friends grow up in these type of circumstances. And, yeah, it's not the easiest, for sure. It's a tough life. It's a tough lifestyle. And Vincent, like he said, it's a cycle. It's already built for him to fail. So it's up to him to just pull himself out of that. Just get away from there. Just go somewhere else. Somewhere where nobody knows you and you can restart. And hopefully it works out for you. But when you in the streets, though, you're not thinking like that. And if somebody like me tells you something like that, you probably want to fight me at that point. Like, who the fuck you think you is, yo? Get the fuck out of here, So that's the attitude. I already know. That's where Vincent is at. But the street life, guys, there's only two ways. If you really want to make it a career and you're like, nah, I'm going to be in the streets forever, there's only two ways. Either 6 feet deep or up in one of these joints. And they won't be as nice as over here. He got the sunflowers. And I told you, he's so intentional with his video. So the picture of the sunflowers, I don't know who the guy is right behind him, but everything is intentional. And if you're doing serious time in America, you would not be in a nice little room like that. Even though to some people, they go like, oh, no, this is not nice. There's nothing nice about this. Trust me when I tell you, if you compare it to what it really is like, this is like a suite. This is top notch right here. This ain't nothing like the real cells. Whew. And you got animals up in there. You got tigers, lions, all types of stuff, snakes and rats, and whew, you got it all. Anyways, let's continue.
For a psychopath on ice, the day repeats, the days are weeks, the weeks are most your life. When the day's done, it's the same one. It's a repeat, it's a rerun. A deja vu religion, a foreboding of a prison. Whole Britain, Great Britain, how Britannia ruled the wave. We started out with intentions and we ended up like slaves. Drink to kill the tension, but the drinks cost your wage. What helps you is what kills you when you're living too deep.
Living to decay. Wow. Maybe the intentions were good, but we definitely slaves to the system.
And so it goes. Vinny starts to drink to let go. Soon he's drinking, cause when he don't drink, every day is a day on death row. So he drinks so he don't have to think. Mercy tastes bittersweet. When the spirit that's inside of him sinks in his teeth And the months turn over, May to October. More days pissed than the days he spent sober. Skin looks older, demeanor gets colder. Sledgehammer swing to that chip on your shoulder. A cold prison deep in alcoholism. 40% proof, no juice. Inhibition get loose by decision and taboos. When we're living for the booze, who's who? He lose himself to. One too many, 1, 2, 3 shots down. Drown those sorrows up in London town. If we in for a penny, we in for a pound. Fate comes full circle. Now it's Vinny boys round.
Oh, snap. This is so fire, and I'm sorry I'm stopping it so much, but man, my goodness. That was incredible. I love when the camera went back and the light was flickering. I mean, that was a hell of a moment. I mean, this entire video is full of moments, but that was a hell of a moment. Wow. Wow, just incredible, man. What an artist this guy is. What a freaking artist. My goodness. And now we going into some street joint. Let's get it. Richard's Tale. What? So we know where Vincent is from. Vincent is basically from a broken home. Vincent basically as a child has been neglected, and the streets ended up raising him. And alcohol and drugs and everything else start taking over, and getting jobs and trying to hustle and trying to make $1. Or trying to make a pound. It's hard out there, It's hard because you're on the bottom and there's barely anything left on the bottom. Where the slaves is at, there's barely anything left in the streets. All the money is up in the suites. I told you, on the top floor. They're overlooking us from the top. But when you're on the bottom, you don't even think about elevator or stairs. You're just on these cold streets. Yeah, and it's cold out there for sure. And it's really wild because Richard and Vincent, even though they come from completely different lifestyles, completely different worlds, those are the ones that always clash. One is trying to do their job, the other one is trying to survive. And neither one of them is trying to let go. And the outcome is never good. Love this beat, dude. It's like old school.
Sirens start singing as the screws murder silence. Stand on my Miranda, my right to remain violent. One man's resistance is another man's tyrant. When tyrants make the laws, they go to war with non-compliance. Locked up, Vinny been locked up since his mother knocked up. Kitty grew up fast, pulled his socks up, chop chop. Keep that credit top. Time is money, tick tock. Quantify the price upon your soul and then it's chop shop. Not particularly special, Vinny spent his life a vessel for the musings of the devil. Repetition caused some issues, turned a hide into a jackal. Building pressure in the kettle, bubble up to boiling level. Ooh man, he's a mad lad, falling on the warpath. Vinny split the atom like a Nagasaki bloodbath. Skies are raining black ash, copper car lights flash. Red and blue kaleidoscope, some folks don't like that. Never mind, just a victim of society. The one that serves you alcohol and sells you your sobriety. The one that sells you sex, is it?
Amen to what he's talking about. Guys, I don't believe in the devil, honestly. I don't think people in the streets are possessed by the devil and that's why they're doing crimes or they do horrific things. I really don't think so at all. I think what it comes down to is that street mentality. I think that street mentality is so poisoning. At least I'm just talking about the streets of America. That street mentality is the poison. And it doesn't matter what race you are or whatever your background is. When you get captured by the street, especially if you get neglected by your parents, right? When the streets capture you, oh, it's over. You already have this poisonous mentality of destruction, basically. Your face looks older and you start doing drugs, you start drinking a lot and so forth. And one of the main things why the street mentality has been so popular in America and has destroyed so many lives, so many youngsters that never even got to grow up to be anything because they got cut short and got taken from us young. But the system in America, I'm not sure how it is in the UK, but let me break it down how it works over here. What they do over here is they give you low-income housing. they give it to your mother, right, who has the children. Now, what they do is they don't let the father use that home, or she loses the free home. Do you understand what I'm saying? If she gets a job, then she's going to have to, her rent ups from $25 a month to $1,000 or whatever, depending on how much you get paid. So the mothers don't search for jobs because their rent goes up. They get free low-income housing, right? So they get free housing and they get free food stamps. But they don't let the boyfriend or the baby father or the husband come to the home. This is called broken families, right? The broken blueprints. I have a song about this. This is how they break families. This is how fathers are not there for their children. Then these young cats are growing up, and you never know what the mother might get into, because the mother has to always get into a fight with a man, and she can never bring a man to her home, because if the system catches the man in the home, you lose your low-income home. So it's a vicious cycle over here, and the system has created that. This system has created this type of environment, this type of lifestyle, and that's why we have lost so many to the streets. It's because of the system. The system wasn't like this in the 1960s. No, you had a strong father, you had a strong mother, and you had a strong parenting there. And they weren't separating families. But as soon as the low-income housing, stilo came into play, nothing but broken families everywhere. And you know, the fathers who are not allowed to go over the home, now it's a battle, because, you know, the mother has all the control now of the children. So the father's like, oh, really? It's like that? Boom, boom. Like, you see what I'm saying? It's the pride and mentality. Everything changes. But that's, the system has created Vincents out there. And then the system brings in Richards to take care of these reckless Vinnies out here. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's a cycle, and it's a game. It's definitely a game, but it's a dirty game. But I don't believe in the devil, honestly. I just believe it's that street mentality that's poisoning the American youth. It's that street mentality, that where you got to get your lick back, right? Where you don't let nobody talk to you crazy, where you don't let nobody rob you, where you let nobody do nothing to you. And you got to get your money, right? So you start selling drugs, and you always got robbers out there. Sometimes it's not robbers of other drug dealers. It's really the fiends, because the fiends don't have enough money. So now they try to rob a store or something, usually get arrested. So why not just rob my dealer, right? Or try to steal it from him and not pay him. And then the dealer comes back for revenge and so forth. I mean, it's just dirty. The street mentality is a poisonous mind state that is destroying our youth in America. And it all starts with the system, the way it's built, the low-income housing with the broken families. That's how it starts right off the rip. Because if your parents was there the entire time and they took care of you, you would have known, oh, I shouldn't do this. Nah, I shouldn't do that. Because my father told me that's not right. My mother told me that's not right. And you respect your parents when they raise you. But when your parents neglect you, there's no respect for your parent. And then what you going to have? Respect in the street? Get out of here. The streets will chew you up and spit you the fuck out every single time, for certain. I love what he's breaking down over here. Oh, I know exactly what he's breaking down over here. Lyric by lyric, I know exactly what he's talking about. Whew. I love what he's talking about.
And it's chop shop, not particularly special. Vinny spent his life a vessel for the musings of the devil. Repetition caused some issues, turned a hide into a jackal. Building pressure in the kettle, bubble up to boiling level. Ooh man, he's a mad lad, falling on the warpath. Vinny split the atom like a Nagasaki bloodbath. Skies are raining black ash, copper car lights flash. Red and blue kaleidoscope, some folks don't like that. Never mind, just a victim of society. The one that serves you alcohol and sells you your sobriety. The one that sells you sex as it pedestals virginity. The one where we elect these lying pests with God ability. 1 to the 2 to the 3 to the 1. Our boy spun his own web-fed tarantulas come like 9 to the 9 to the 9. Through his Christ lines intersect. Rich's fate was designed. Screech. just set the scene. It's 2019. Richard and a boy named Screech. The hands of fate, they touch and read. Siblings buried, blood it bleeds. Etched in Richard's memories. Thoughts a model, troubled sleep. Takes a time of absent leave. Hitting the bottle to soften the blow in the walls of yourself, and there's nowhere to go. And his friends on the force, they don't call, they don't show. Go to therapy, raggedy, seem to plateau. When his popo went loco and woe so low that his mojo no mono rebound no yo-yo, and so the time it moved slow-mo. You see the case was never closed, cause the motive was confusing. Orphan killed his sister, but his sister was removed when the mother died in childbirth, but dying womb life brings. The cycle of samsara always was quite amusing. Brother killed his sister, but the records seem to show the brother never met his sister, didn't even know. So the tragedy was a catastrophe, a fate fucked up. Richard's losing sleep while his whole family's talk. The 5 stages of grief is a common psychological model, often used to provide reassurance to all those stricken by loss. For loss comes with a cost like frostbite, shockingly cold, paving the road to decomposure, decomposing your soul. 1. Denial.
And you know, that's tough for Richard too, because he had to basically shoot Screech. And that's for a person in his line of work, that gotta hurt. Because policing is his job, but everybody who joins the police hopes not to ever encounter something like that, where they have to pull the trigger, where they have to kill someone. It's nothing anybody wants. That's why he's talking to the therapist, and that's why it's really tough. But I wonder if his sister is the wife of the husband they got into that street fight. That's what I'm thinking. And that's why the cop came so quickly. That's why when the sirens came on, he ended up stabbing the guy, which is his brother-in-law, the one who died. And I wonder if Vincent is related to Screech somehow, some way. I don't know. But that's a hell of a story. I mean, we getting some eye-opening things about the entire story right now. He went back to 2019. That was so fire. So fire. Him laying down there and Screech laying down there. Richard on top of him, calling for backup, calling for ambulance, while my man's is right in front of the scene and just rapping. I mean, that's just so fire on so many levels. My goodness. I always knew that this man will only elevate. I mean, from the first moment I saw him, High Rent, I knew that this man will do nothing but just improve and elevate. And that's all he's been doing. Honestly, all he's been doing since the first time I heard him, since now, he has been nothing but elevating. Elevating on all levels. Videos, music, everything. Everything you can imagine. I mean, this guy's just insanely talented. The 5 stages of grief is a common psychological model, often used to provide reassurance to all those stricken by loss. For loss comes with a cost like frostbite, shockingly cold, paving the road to decomposure, decomposing your soul. 1. Denial. Pretending for a while, reality retired, but everything is changing. Richie lost the will to smile. How to reconcile when murdering a child. The 2nd stage is anger, feel it bubbling the bile. Anger down the man that served the hand that wrote the plan. If God is will that's good and grand, then damn we are all are damn. Forsaken by creation, revelations Richard cannot stand. The 3rd stage is bargaining, begging God for second chance. Lord, I know it is a reach, but I'm begging on my knees. Resurrect the boy James, resurrect the boy Screech. I'll devote my life to thee, I will live a life of peace. Stage 4 is depression, that's a lesson taught in grief. Depression, demonic like possession, that feeds upon this spark for life. No water is refreshing, no sunlight brings him warmth, no sleep will ever bring resting. His guilt and doubt are oh so loud, the silence sounds so deafening. Depression, the numbing of expression, the negative obsession, ruminating in oppression. I'm gonna be honest with you, I respect Richard for having a heart, for caring, for going through the struggle because he has killed a child. Because we've seen like over 20,000 children getting killed in the place, and nobody even cares. Nobody even sheds a tear we keep helping the killers instead. We keep funding the killers instead. So I respect a man who has a heart, who has empathy, and who would go through this struggle because they killed a child. Right? That's a human right there. Richard got a heart. And that's why he's going through all this. He didn't want to have to do that. But the system that Bill Screech and his sister brought him to that position where Richard was forced to do what he did. And now he's living with that, and it hurts him, and I respect that a lot. I really do. When you have empathy and you understand right from wrong like this, I respect that. I respect that. He got a heart. He's a human. And yeah, nothing but respect there.
Will ever bring resting. His guilt and doubt are oh so loud, the silence sounds so deafening. Oppression, depression, the numbing of expression, the negative obsession, ruminating in oppression. Stressing is a lesson when your mind begins reflecting. That's stage number 5. 5 is acceptance. The road's never quite ideal. The slow rise, dust it off. And let me tell you something, Richie, man, I'm proud. Cause you pulled a stitch from the seam, the wound was open weeping. Felt like a regression, but that flesh was set for healing. You wrestled imperfections, misdirections, walked with demons. Most demons are a fallen angel, truth has double meanings. Perspective disconnects the trauma, trauma turns to lessons. The biggest curse you'll ever face could be your greatest blessing. Remember, in the darkest times, no need for second guessing. No path is ever linear, a stumble leads to stepping. You're a soldier, a scholar of life's sorrow, and day follows day. There will always be tomorrow when it gets colder. Whatever, it's only weather. Rain feeds the crops, let them grow, think clever. I'm so fucking proud of you, Richie, my boy. I know you're itchy, my boy, to get to work and deploy. Serve and protect my don, in for the right reason. I know you think you've done wrong, but look at who you become. It's your first day at work, big man. Hold that head up high, my friend. Come on. We're all proud of you, Richie. I hope you get out there and smash it. I mean, what could go wrong?
Whew. Whew. Speechless. I'm so speechless. Wow. Have I never seen his tattoos? On his forearm too? Wow. Okay. So what I think, right? I might be wrong. You guys let me know. I think Richard is the cop who arrested Vincent. Because Vincent killed his brother-in-law. And it's his sister that called him. And that's why the sirens came, distracted his brother-in-law, where Vincent got to stab him. And that's exactly what happened in Vincent's tale. So, man, Richard got it bad, man. Richard is just going through the worst. And the poor guy is just trying to do his job, and he's really not a killer. You can tell because he really hurt his heart that he had to kill Screech, you know? Wow. What a story. Like, not only the story, guys. I mean, the story is incredible. The music video is incredible. I love the way he's like singing and rapping it. He's just performing right next to him. I love that. I love those type of scenes. Those are just so fire, and he does it so great. And even the actor that's Richard, I mean, they're all amazing. The cameraman, absolutely amazing. It's just a work of art. The visuals are just a work of art, but the poetry, whew. And this man can sing. This man can rap. This man can sing. He can play instruments. I mean, like, yo, he's just a music box. You know what I mean? Like, he's just, and not just any type of music box. He's so unorthodox. He's so unusual, but so incredible and so brilliant. I mean, whew. Ren is one of a kind. one of a kind. I love this story. I can't wait till the fellas get to see this. I think what I'm gonna do is probably go to Jenny and Screech, then go to Vincent's Tale, and then come over here and do this one. Vincent's Tale, the bedroom. I think if we go through the entire story, it will be really, really dope. I would enjoy that a lot. Yeah. That's what I'm gonna do with the cast. Just an excuse to watch all of these all over again and do another reaction on all of these. Just an excuse, guys. Just an excuse. I know I'm sneaky, right? Super sneaky. But yeah, this was incredible, man. I couldn't even rate this. If I was to rate this will blow the scale through the roof. I mean, I don't even know. This is just brilliance. Brilliant in every which way. And wow, just so shockingly incredible. Wow. Yo, Ren is one of a kind. And yo, us renegades, we got a real one. We got one of the best that ever done it. Honestly. One of the best that ever done it. Whew. Whew. He's so freaking good. Yo, he's amazing, yo. He's great. Whew. Anyways, guys, I appreciate you if you finish this video with me. I give you my thoughts, and I know for a fact you're going to give me your thoughts on the comments down below. Don't you dare forget to like, subscribe, share, tell everybody about my catalog. And stay out the streets. And if you got kids, keep them out the streets, okay? That street mentality is poisonous. I'm telling you, man. And don't let anger take you over neither. Because, you know, anger is like drinking poison and hoping then the other person dies, you know? It will never happen. And you never make a great decision when you're angry. So, yeah. Just be safe out there, all right? You guys be safe. Until next time.